Okay, folks, every once in a while I go off script, off maintenance and reliability to answer a viewer question or comment. Today, from a subscriber, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to become a plant manager. Perhaps your personal journey and suggestions for aspiring leaders. You know, folks, my jobs that I've had in my career, you can find on LinkedIn. You know, just go there, it's listed out, okay? What I chose to do for this video is share some of my key lessons I learned during those roles. And all of this I'm going to have on my brand new website, links below. Get on that website, look under documents, and you'll see this script that I'm actually making this video on. You'll see it there. So no need to take notes, you can just listen. This is Joe Kuhn from Lean Driven Reliability, bridging the gap between best practices that you know you should be doing, that you hear about in seminars and magazines, but can't quite figure out how to do in your culture. This is for you. There's no single right path to becoming a plant manager. Ask 10 people and you're going to get 10 different roadmaps, okay? But it's critical that you learn lessons along the way to make you successful. You know, and I've listed 5 categories here that I'm going to go into where there's lessons under each one. Number 1 is people. In a plant manager role, you need to get results done and accomplished through other people. So you got to be great at evaluating talent, growing talent, developing talent. I spent about 30% of my time with people one-on-one growing, okay? 30% of my time I did that. You got to be great at team dynamics, building a team, sponsoring a team. You know, you make tough decisions on people. I thought I did this pretty well. You have a team that you're trying to put together. Sometimes you have an incredible talent, but they're an individual contributor. They do great things as their own, but as a team, they're not a good team member. You need to make some changes there. That's and they're going to be tough. You know, you got to be open to influence. You got to drive candor in the organization, not telling the boss what he wants to hear. She wants to hear candor. You guide and you delegate. Delegation is a key skill of a plant manager. And the last thing under people, you're not going to be the smartest person in the room. You do not want to be the smartest person in your room. You want to have your staff be more developed in certain areas of the business than you. Behaviors of a plant manager. You got to win the bureaucracy battle. This is the emails and meetings that can consume your life and take you off your agenda of driving change. You got to have a process to intimately know reality. What's the real world, not what's going on in your head. Chalk circle observation, right? Don't just believe all the KPIs. You got to take risk. I love the Steve Jobs quote from Apple. Today's dogma or today's rules, today's culture was written by people no smarter than you. Take risk. Anticipate. Anticipate, that's a skill to see opportunities before other people see them as opportunities. See problems before other people see them. You got to be optimistic, engaging, and charismatic. Leaders instill hope. So plant manager, you're the hope distributor, HOPE. You got to have a disciplined process for getting things done. Other videos I talked about in my book, I talked about the A3 process, tool I use all the time. You got to be able to execute a plan given overwhelming obstacles. Everybody's got challenges. You got to be the person that can work through those challenges and get things done. You got to sell your accomplishment. Seek out diverse experiences. You know, it's very difficult to stay in one location and then accelerate up to a location manager role. Everybody does something well. If you're part of a 10 location company, try to get to a couple of those. Everybody does something well. You need to learn it. You get better with diverse experiences. Maybe even have to leave the company to get that diverse experience. You know, read. You got to learn from others. People that have done the job before, they write it down in a book, just like I have. You write it down in a book, learn those lessons, be just a vivacious reader. You know, Audible, get on Audible while you're going to and from work. Network, seek out candid feedback. Get a mentor and champion, get a coach. These people, when you're 25, 30, 35, seek out people 2 levels higher in the organization that may be 50, 55, 60, and have them become your champion, become your coach. Go to LinkedIn, play around on that, get connections, go to conferences. Your plant manager opportunity may not be at your current company, maybe at another one. Your resume. I'll tell you, if you're in manufacturing, the best degree is a technical degree like an engineering degree, which shows you have systemic problem solving techniques and your database. That's great. Also, people look for an MBA, knowledge of the key business levers, because this is all about making money. Unfortunately, or fortunately, in today's internet world where you log in online, it's so easy to screen people out. So if you get 1,000 people apply for a job, you could just say, I only want people with an engineering degree, I only want people with an MBA, and that takes it from 1,000, takes it down to maybe 14, something manageable. So unfortunately, those are two of the ideal candidates or characteristics of somebody that is a candidate, to have a technical degree and an MBA. But that does not have to be the case. I do not have an MBA, but I did go to some courses on finance for non-financial people from accredited organizations like University of Michigan or Vanderbilt. Just a week-long course my company paid for, got me those little check marks I can put by my name that attract people in an internet world. You're not hired specifically for your resume. Those are just screening methods. You're hired because your boss thinks you can get things done and take the organization to a new level of performance. So you got to hit results hard in your discussions and in your resume. Now, I also, I know I went through a lot of things here, but what are my top 4 accelerators? If I could just tell you 4 things that are going to accelerate your career, what would they be? Number 1, read and have a continuous learning plan. Read, read, read. I'm telling you, most people will be too lazy to do it. My son on Audible used to go through a book a week. Imagine what you can accomplish and learn in a year consuming a book a week. Number 2, take risk. You're going to have to take calculated risk. If you want to change the rules, you got to push the limits of the rules. Take risk. Number 3, get a mentor and a coach, folks. I can't stress this enough. On my website, that's one of the services that I offer, is to be a mentor and a career coach for you. So take a look at that. Number 4, accelerator is move companies, change locations. Get that diverse experience to strengthen your resume, strengthen your skill set by going to other locations. Last recommendation I have is, create a grid. Go into Excel, create a little grid of your skills and behaviors. Rate yourself, the ones you want to have as a plant manager, all these, plus whatever you may want to add to the list, and rate them 1 to 5. Get external feedback, find a buddy, get a coach to give you feedback on all those characteristics or skills. And then have a countermeasure in place if you have, rate them 1 to 5. 5 being really strong, it's core expertise of yours, 1 being you're pretty weak in it. What are you going to do about the 1s and 2s? Now, that doesn't mean you go out and take a 1 and you're going to go to school and convert it to a 5, but you got to have a plan. Here's an example. I'm a mechanical engineer. Electrical things I'm not very good at. So when I build a team, I'm looking for electrical expertise to help close that blind spot for me. Knowing your strengths, knowing your gaps, doesn't always mean you're going to fix your gaps. It means you're going to countermeasure your gaps. Okay, again, I'm going to post this on my website. You got the link in the video below. Go to that. I'd love to see a lot of people check that out. It's posted under Documents. Folks, begin your journey. Reliability, it's really not that hard. Hopefully I'm making it a little simpler for you here. If I can help you out in any way, send me a comment back on this video, send me a message in LinkedIn, send me an email. On my website, you'll see that I give a free hour of consultation, no sales pitch, just talking to you about your situation, free hour. Talk to you later. Joe out.